when you meet people who do know how to choose love and how to live and basically how to be authentic, you're going to notice something completely different. So we had a 4 minute short on the topic and a 1 minute. And that is conscious lovers don't feel contempt, disgust, or shame after fucking someone. We're just going to go there because, it's 2024. And as an empowered woman, I'm like, wow, really? When you let people know you curse, they're like, that's vulgar. Well, it depends. It's only vulgar if I'm actually insulting you. But if you're a person who's from a plane of you don't have the empowered version of you, yes, and you're living according to a time that is no longer, well, everybody has their own idea. That's why we don't all hang out with each other, right? So empowered women will not think of being vulgar. It sounds like we're living from some type of era. Then again, we'll understand why those who do live that era, women, men, and theys included, will be like, oh, look, did you see that? And I think of the societal soul age group. I'm in the enlightenment soul age group. And I'm a 5D mystic, not 4D. And enlightenment has no laundry here. So when you meet those who have a challenge with love, they reject it. So you know what happens when you give unconditional love and your polyamory? Well, let me tell you, as you grow older, you notice how many men, women, and I don't know these, but I'm sure that if they don't know that they're worthy, well, they need a good therapist. That way they can get on board with it, or they can do personal development too. Depends where they're at with the you are worth it all, my love. So I know that I'm worthy because my mother raised me to have actual self love. And that's why when my boyfriend, the teenage one, was cheating on me and all these other people judged that I was naive if they thought so, or they, how can I put it? Most people don't talk to your face about what they think objectively. You find that out in time, and you're very me, always humored to see how somebody wants me to think of them, man, woman, or they, as badass when they don't know how to tell you to your face anything. To me, that means you don't do political correctness. It also means that the minute that you don't want to marry me, oh, this just makes me laugh. No, I'm not going to go there because, see, I'm humored. I mean, when my teenage boyfriend broke up with me, I was like, okay. A month later, I'm like, he did the best thing ever. I'm so happy. And, it's even more funny that people think sadness means torture. No, I use my prefrontal cortex. So if you want to do personal development and self help and have a good relationship with emotions, come on over. Why do people not choose love? Well, they like to be with the lovely Pinocchio with the wooden body and Stromboli. They do lust. They think lust is something strong. Not at all. Okay, so here's what a 5D mystic can tell you. Ask Sadhguru. Now, he talks about it as wine. Oh, it ain't wine. The restorative embodiment self of you, it's not wine. It's a 3-year-old with a teenage and a grown woman and a grown man, whoever it is, that's a piece of consciousness. You know how tasty it is to not touch one? No, no. In fact, we won't be near one until we know they're one. You can only know they're one when their heart is open. So it's only when a person actually knows how to think and how to feel and how to be their self and be on a journey that doesn't involve, let me hide my emotions from myself. Okay, so when somebody's hiding their emotions from you, yeah, they don't choose the door to this. No, no. In fact, you'll notice that they think they've chosen something. Yes, but what they've chosen is the same thing Pinocchio chooses. I've seen it again, 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 again. Not with me. My choices are conscious. I am always committed to the people that I choose, which is why expanding to polyamory wasn't hard. My twin flames, they're awesome. They're doing great in their world, and I'm doing great in mine. And they brought me exactly what I wanted, like my soulmates. That's what an actual mystic knows, which is why when they need a coach, okay, sure, they're on some journey. It's called the relationship soul age group journey. I'm just saying it's not a competition, but you better bet our brain for the ones of us who don't have a challenge with, oh, look, I have a left, my thoughts. They're not irrefutable facts. Oh, look, I got emotions. Oh, wait, they're not irrefutable facts either. Oh, look, there's people talking on a screen. Sure, they don't know everything. I don't know everything. You can't pull wool over my eyes, donkeys. Because, see, that's what 7 and 14 charming are. So when a person lies in my face, behind my back, I'm used to it. As a teenager, I learned all about it. I'm not anxious about lying. I'm just anxious about dying. In fact, that's the one thing that I care about the most is to live, which is why everything else is really not a big deal. So a man with a heart is a man who shows up again and again and again, and they actually don't have a shame button because that would mean that they still have trauma that they haven't noticed. So they would bring their Cusco attitude, which is really boring. Cusco doesn't know how to keep on moving forward. In fact, their heart opens and closes and open and close and open and close. And it's like, oh my gosh, make up your mind already, will you? So balancing your emotional plane is very easy for those of us who are not challenged by our feelings. In fact, the beauty is that we always blossom into more things. And that when a storm hits, we're like, wow, I got a choice point now. Come into inner growth mindset. We deal with uncertainty, unwanted, unexpected. And as you can see, people think that I'm traumatized and I hide behind a smile. I love thinking, wow, they actually don't know anything about emotions. I'm not going to tell them. That would be not very nice of me to say. So, are you suffering? Excuse me. When you meet actual, authentic human beings, that's when you can have a nice conversation. And what I love is when actual, authentic human beings say, okay, you know what? Since you are a securely attached person, Maria, and you're very self empowered, and I can tell you have confidence, and I can tell you respect yourself, and I can tell that you know I got the whole world in my hands. Yep, because I made all the choices based on my little worldly self, not according to society. I don't fear inadequacy when I see that the majority of society thinks that a storm, well, who needs a superhero cape? Who needs a supervillain cape? Who needs to keep being an adolescent who thinks they know everything about life? Anyone? Anyone? So when I meet ignorance, I know who it is. When I meet authenticity also. And that's for any person who's actually authentic because it's here. And the ones who are like, I bet that's an evil bitch. Yeah, those ones I got used to. They don't like confident people because they're not confident. The ones who get prettier by the minute or stubborner by the minute as they get more of a flock, yeah, that's a whole different story. But that is side note. So why is choosing love, living it, and being authentic as yourself a challenge for people? Because they don't go, one, to get therapy so that they can heal their abandonment wound, rejection wound, so that they can heal their adaptive child or maladaptive child. So basically, they don't make a note for their self. What am I? Here you get to be yourself. So we do personal development for people who are emotionally aware and mentally aware. We don't project it. And so we don't do gender stereotypes, or we also don't do, what are they called? The generalizations, but we do tease, as you can tell. I'm teasing a whole bunch because I find it humorous that I need to call people badass or smart that are not either or. But that when it comes to them actually owning up to anything, they actively deflect. I find it hard to believe that my implicit memory and my first 2 years of life have anything to do with anything. And there's all this free information online. And it's like, wow, well, I'm not going to educate a lack of imagination for a lot of things person because you are consistently bringing me the generalized statement of evil must exist. There cannot be goodness in the world. There have to be people with shame because otherwise, how dare they not have shame? So the reason some people think that we have to have shame is because they don't have faith in humanity. See, I'm a human. I have faith in humanity, but that's because I have faith in myself. Because like the little choo-choo train that could, when you love yourself and others, and you consistently shake a hand like a pacha, and that means you're a conscious lover. It's why you don't wake up and then leave and then don't get called and say, oh, I did something wrong. I didn't know how to keep a man. I'm laughing right now because I can't even believe that people like that get all these women and men who actually want to keep a man. Let me grab my leash for a minute. Hey, come on over. Let me pull on you for a little bit. Okay, so this is the part. The challenge is that these individuals who don't choose love, they go to Stromboli, they got a little push-pull going on, they have some fun, and they fade it on out, and then they keep on doing it. And they let all these people touch them, which, by the way, is not a good thing. Yeah, when you're having so many different types of sexual partners, yeah, it's not about the Luciferian thing. Don't get me started with that one. It's that one, you will have the contempt, disgust, shame thing. It's not only men and women. I've met them in college. In fact, then after I left college, I went to go dancing with people and I saw them. And I would consistently say, why, if you feel more alone, if you feel more shitty, and I'm not understanding, I'm actively speaking words to a human being who wants to tell me they're smart. You don't have to do any of this. You can work with yourself, and not do it. No, I can't. Yeah, you can work with your attachment system. I'm so sorry. You didn't know that yet? You can work with your 0-1-year-old and your 3-year-old, all your child parts. I have attachment trauma information. Again, if you want to do personal development one-to-one, seriously, it's a bare minimum of 12 months. FYI, I've decided I don't want to take people who don't want to do it, because you are a self that is very important to you. If you're here, then I'm going to say that you might be interested in that. And I say might because, again, when people get to have love, like pure love is you have no strings attached. Don't you understand? Pure love means that I'm going to tell you in your face you're worthy of love. And I'm not playing no games, though. I ain't pulling you on a leash. What are you doing? I ain't lying to you either. But what you find out is people don't know how the truth works at all. Like, even my big man, baby child friend, I have had the proof of how many people lack the capacity, not only to be objective with their own self, that all my attachment trauma information therapists teach me, it's because their child parts are leading them. And then I know of the other soul age groups. Again, I'm in the enlightenment one. So they're still learning about their self through that. And some people, they commit to it. That's why they stay in their karma wheel and then they go fizzle out. So those of us who chose love, we're not fizzling out. We're like, yeah, we're going to be with healthy self-worth people. Men, women, and theys. That's where the 5D collective, come on over. It's people who don't go and say, oh, how disgusting. I mean, we all have the different feelings. Like, I definitely lust, get it away from me. Any person who's wanting to use any of that torture chamber shit, get away from me again. I don't want any of it, but I won't say you're disgusting. I'll just say, nah, it's not my stuff. I like to keep my body intact to the best of my ability and all of this. So, that is something. You see my face? You can't hide your facial expression. It's one of those things. I'm not trying. I won't. So the people who I am able to leave alone are the ones who are not securely attached. And it's because I learned how to mind my own business. And then people don't choose love while they live stromboli and they think they're on high. And you're like, okay, you're obviously not aware of what it means to be a lover, because you're not a lover if you don't know how to stay with your heart open always, not just sometimes, always. So what is true love? Well, it's a person who can love their self first and know they're worthy. From here, though, not here. Here is actually aligned with here. I know all about it, which is why nobody's chipped away at my confidence. They've actually simply allowed me to become more of myself. It's what your oversoul does, by the way. And are you always on? Raise your hand, unless you want the Zen master with laundry, which he's out there. So if people don't want to be with their emotions, IHP won't resonate with you, because I'm here for those who want to be a real boy, real girl, real they. It's your mammalian heritage. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean it's going to be hard. If we have some big trauma, then we want to be supported with good therapists. I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm an Akashic record reader. I'm a tarot reader. We do mixed, holistic mindfulness, meditation, no yoga. I don't do that, but I do have Sadhguru for that, so it's actually pretty good. Are you here to live aliveness? If you want to be alive, this is where the restorative embodiment is. So the ones who have a challenge, they don't want to be their authentic self. You see, their inner child is locked in. Let me out, let me out. So we leave it alone. We know self-love over here at IHP. Come join us. That means also you love all people, FYI, and we don't demonize or romanticize anyone. We know the ones who are working on their personality disorders, and they need actually healthy self-worth people, not the ones who are I'm going to see my lens, work with myself, become a human being who's decent. Okay, and what are your masks for? We all have masks, but the authentic mask is what you carry above all. Then if I'm in a professional setting, I will have to conform. Why? Because that's the right thing to do. In a professional setting, here I'm in my own space. It's my content for my community, mine. My 3-year-old, mine. No, you're not mine, but you know what I'm getting at. So the part of where people will find it hypocritical, they have different ideas. I find it reasonable to know that if I am going to be in a profession, that I will be politically correct, business correct, that this is social media. And in social time, I get to speak and share, and that's where emotionally mature and mentally mature people have known that social time isn't, we're all going to speak in the exact same way. That just makes me think of the pretend human beings who do gender stereotypes all over the place, generalizations, and oh, you should see, they're amazing. The ones who just think that they are different while they're with the same cape all over again. The different people, we're not different. We say, of course we're all different. We have different ways we express things. What's up with that? Do we need to specify it? So it's a way of the brain and how it works, by the way. It's where the left and the right are friends, and that's called healthy self worth. So you're not a picky person with your brain. You don't get rigid or harsh when somebody's saying, I believe in something different than you, or I believe in this law needing to be passed. Again, this is the Enlightenment Soul Age group. So those who choose love, those who live it, and those who are their authentic self, we don't have a challenge being around anyone. And when we meet the ones who have a challenge with doing this, we know because they won't be, one, consistent, so they won't be romantic partners or partners at all, because you can't be a partner of anything. It doesn't matter if you're romantic or not if you can't walk a walk and talk a talk and talk to my face and talk, no, not behind my back. That's number one. Two, you're just going to be a small energy for those of us who are intuitives because your nervous system is guiding you. So as long as you lack self-worth and confidence and you're a facade, I'm going to notice it, like the jackasses that are out there. And they have a following. Of course they do. They all have the same vibe, in fact. And they're all in the same tribe. And there's a person who says that everybody needs an ethical cult leader, a traditional and culty cult. They're called silverbacks. It's for the dying breed, though. They're not the 5D collective. They're called the ones that are using the frontal lobes are flopped down, their amygdala is all over it, and in fact, alert, 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 they're in their safety behavior and they're fizzling out by the minute. And that's how I'm going to close this out. We're going to have one more episode. Thank you for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe if it resonates. Ask your curiosity questions if you want me to talk about anything. And in the meantime, hopefully you are experiencing love inside here. And if you are, then you know tomorrow's a beautiful day when you get to wake up and be with the people who chose love with you. That means you get to have fun. And that's the beauty. We get to have fun with our herd. So I hope that everything is well and that you are able to be with healthy self-worth people who are being authentic. They're the most amazing of relationships you'll ever have. And then there's the ones where we expand. And so we have a lot of fun with those ones too. They're being authentic, means they speak in your face, not behind your back. The ones who pretend, we have a different relationship with them. They're more like colleagues, friends. That's the words I'm using are, you'll notice, they have facades. They're just there for what they want. It's okay. Everybody wants something, right? So we are always going to be able to share time because there's some of it. Love, it's infinite. And when I perceive and think of people who are just out to get something, what I know is that they have a lack mindset, they have a lack body, they have a lack energy, and I actually know that we balance. So the ones of us who have, we're able to give because we're always on, and because healthy self-worth is your dominant trait, you're not giving something with the idea of you're going to get something back. You know when people lack the capacity to be able, and so you learn, for me at least, it's a differentiation. And Daniel Siegel helped me to hone in on that even more. And so when I feel a small energy that is low, I leave it alone. It's not mine. They can learn how to get out of that, by the way, but they don't want to. They would rather be with Stromboli, and that means with high risk, bullshit, lust, whatever it is, stuff, instead of noticing that you can get out of your dorsal vagal and get into your ventral vagal by activities that activate your sympathetic, and then you move into whatever it is that is sweetness. So there's a way we'll learn in a masterclass that I'm building for you all, because that's part of the updated info that I have now, so that you can become the owner of navigating that. And there's actually already NICABM. If you look them up, I think it's called Menu of the Nervous System, Dana? No. Yes, Deb Dana, something like that. But you can reach out. I'll find it. I know where to look for it. So it's really nice when you can start to own your social engagement system. And that's the number one place. You want to be there. You don't want to keep going on and off. You don't have to. There's no reason. It's your own embodied brain. You're the owner of the thoughts, the owner of the emotions. So the part of your putting your best foot forward is all about mindset. And yes, of course, we know the world has all this stuff going on. It's a side note. Okay, we'll be back with more. Have a good one.